Welcome back to another trade recap. Today I lost $250 trading, so let's just get into it. Coming into today, we're pretty clearly bullish. We are respecting a 4-hour bullish for value gap right here, and we are also respecting a 1-hour bullish for value gap right here, and then we are inversing this bullish for value gap. So what I wanted to see off open was there was going to be a 30-minute that was about to be formed. I just wanted to see that get respected, then I see this place higher. Now, execution. This is my execution. Wait, I'm on the wrong thing. I have to be on here. I don't know why it's not letting me log in, but this is my execution on here. Let me get to the actual execution I used. There's a problem that I run into with a lot of trades, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm gonna take a loss for a while. But this is a loss. It was about 200, 250 around there, but small little loss. So basically, this 30-minute fair value gap, we're waiting for this to get respected. Off open, we come into it, and then there's data lows below because we have 8:30 news. Price comes into it on both assets, the 30-minute fair value gap, and then price sweeps the data lows on NQ but not on ES, so we have an SMT. I don't like when NQ is the lagging index. It's a lot harder to hit trades. So basically I'm waiting and I'm like, okay, before 10 a.m. I usually am fine with taking not the highest time frame inversion, but considering the fact that 10 a.m. was about to happen and we had orange folder news, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit on my hands till 10 a.m., which was about right here. Let me actually just utilize replay moderate quick to make this simpler, but 10 a.m. was about to form. So we have this bearish for value gap right here and this 5-minute bearish for value gap, and I was like, okay, 10 a.m. is about to form. Most likely I'm gonna want to see this get inverse at 10 a.m. But then I realized I'm looking at the other time frame. I'm looking at NQ, and I'm like, oh my gosh, a 15 minutes about to form at 10 a.m. So I'm like, okay, I am never in my life waited for a 15-minute to get inverse, but today looks like today. Today I was like, okay, bro, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm just gonna have to wait for the 15-minute to get inverse because we're in between a 15-minute bearish for value gap, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's just what we're gonna have to wait for. Then the 5-minute ends up getting inversed. So the 15-minute is here, not to confuse you guys, but there's also a 5-minute right here. Okay, it's like a little bit stacked. I'm on the 5-minute time frame right now. And then we get the inversion right here. And at this time, it had just turned 10:10. And I was like, I was thinking about entering the position. And I was like, nah, bro, like, I'm gonna just play it safe. Then I'm like, I'll just wait for another candle. Boom. All my draws get ran. So I'm like, okay, I mean, like, it's fine, it's whatever. Like, I was trying to play it safe, and I'm happy I played it safe. So I'm waiting for this. I was like, let me just wait for this 15-minute to form. Okay. Also a 5-minute formed, and then it did end up getting respected, but I was like, there's probably gonna be a 15-minute at my stop loss. So let me just wait for this 15-minute bullish for value gap to form to try to look for some continuations. Go for this 15-minute bullish for value gap right here. Formed on ES also. Oh, why is this bearish? 15-minute bullish for value gap right here. I'm like, okay, just gonna wait for price to interact with this, price to go into the zone. Then we come down. Hold on. All right, and then we form an SMT right here where ES is in this 15-minute bullish for value gap and NQ is not. And then I'm like, okay, what's the highest time frame? The 2-minute. I wait for the 2-minute, and I find a problem with a lot of my setups like this. It's where, like, recently over the past like 2 weeks, I like tried to implement this thing in my trading where I'm like, my stop loss doesn't have a reason. So right here we get the inverse, but we're so premium of the leg, like here, and this should be the target right here. So in order to get 1 RR, we need to put our stop loss like right here. And recently I've been doing that. I did that a couple times on demo a couple weeks ago, and it was like, it worked a couple times, but I genuinely think that like having a stop loss here without a reasoning doesn't really make sense. Compared to yesterday, right? I had a stop loss that should be at the wick because an SMT is present. Stop loss at the wick if there's an SMT. And I had put my stop loss a little bit below the wick just because I needed to increase the RR to get that 1 RR play. But for this, I feel like this is different. If the inversion was here, and hold on, I need to paint a picture right here. If the inversion was here and I had to go to the wick and then I went like this is different. This is a lot different. This stop loss is very close. And the reason this trade would be invalidated is if this low right here gets swept. But then if I'm targeting this high, then that's a 0.63 RR. We never want a sub 1 RR. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna enter with this and see how it plays out. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy I took this loss today because, and I wasn't really mad about it because I'm like, okay, I already know that eventually this high is gonna get ran. We were in profit a little bit and then boom, stopped out. I already know this high is gonna get ran, like right here, it all gets ran. I already know it's gonna get ran. I know where market's gonna go. I just need to figure out for situations like this when we're so premium of the leg, how to execute on that. There was a, yeah, I mean, I don't really know, not too much to say here. Just took a small loss on MNQ for around $200 to $250. I mean, I'm really not that mad about it, just because I know what I did wrong, and I don't think I'm really gonna ever go for plays like this again. Like this, I would definitely go for something like this, like something like this. If I need stop loss at the wick, I would definitely go for something like this because we have a lot more wiggle room. But for tight plays like this where I'm targeting 15 points, it's a little bit gambling. I will admit it is a little bit gambling. But just overall lesson for me to learn today was that, listen, if you you don't need to like the plays are gonna come to you, and if you know where market's gonna go, then like, okay, like I knew today we were gonna be bullish. I knew we were gonna take all-time highs on either NQ or ES, which we end up doing on ES. We targeted all-time highs, so I'm like, okay, I already know where the draw is. I just need to find a way to get an execution there, and if I don't get one, I think today should have just been a no trading day, but that's whatever. I'm gonna journal it, and then yeah, but that's gonna be it for today's trade recap. So we're gonna get to have any questions about anything, and I will see y'all boys tomorrow for Friday.